Hello. Welcome on in. Hi, my 2 cents. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Now, just so everybody knows, we have not forgotten about the big main event that's going on right now. Hi, Canvas and Crime. But we have been spending, before all of this JLR stuff, we were spending a bunch of time on Nancy Guthrie, and that's kind of stalled out. I'm doing good. It's been a busy day. I've been running all morning, and I caught some bits and pieces of Marissa's live earlier, and oh, good deal. And I think, speaking of headsets, I think that is what is the problem with my microphone. So I'm going to work on that this week, and we'll probably next week, because I'll have the week off. The boys don't have school or anything like that, so I'll have time to kind of tinker around with that. But I think that's why I think I need a headset for it. So anywho, so anyway, yeah, before all this JLR stuff, we were, glued to the computer and our phones about Nancy Guthrie. And there's a couple of things that before I end today, I will go over, just in case you hadn't seen it with that. But nothing's been solved yet. There's no big news. Now today, though, there was a community press conference, or like a community meeting against Nanos, and I haven't gotten to watch that. So, hi Doug, welcome. So, and you used the emojis. Thank you. I can put 2 more in. I got to figure that out. I got to figure out what I want to do. So, with that being said, the case that I am going to do this afternoon is a case that happened back in 2023, in December, right before Christmas. And I actually was watching the case, Ikidmel. He followed this case really tightly. And I think JLR followed it too, if I remember correctly. I'm not positive. But anyway, this is a case of Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra. And they had gone to a house to do a drug deal, unfortunately. And allegedly, the son of the people that lived there ended both Matthew and Savannah's life in the garage that night by shooting them. Savannah was 9 months pregnant. She was actually supposed to go in on the 26th of December to be induced to have their little boy. And sadly, she didn't make it that far because of this Christopher Preciado. Well, I just was wondering about it the other day, thinking, gosh, I wonder whatever happened in that case. And all of a sudden, boom, my phone must have been reading my brain again, and it popped up. So I did want to update everybody, because I know I've seen some of you in that chat room and stuff like that, and when we were following it before. And so yeah, I didn't want this to get overshadowed by all the other stuff. So what I'm going to do today is, because we always have to have Clawz somehow and everything, because I'm the claw lady. I'm gonna have claw clam up. Claw clam. That sounds dirty every time I accidentally say it, and I'm sorry. But I'm gonna have the claw cam up while I've got some news reports to go over, just to remind us kind of what happened, some of the small details of the story, And then I found the opening arguments and also the interrogation tape that they played in court. So I thought that'd be interesting. And so I'll play that while I do my Clawz, and I will mute myself so you don't hear all my filing and everything like that. But I will be watching the chat, and I'll answer any questions that you have. And if I don't know the answer, then I will find out and do the best that I can. So with that being said, first I just want to put this up. This is just kind of a little background of the story. It says this is KSAT. This is out of San Antonio, is where this case happened. Yes, some people hadn't, and it's 2 years old. It happened right before Christmas in 2023. Savannah Soto, who was expected to be induced to deliver her son, never showed up for her appointment on December 20. Oh no, it was the 22nd. I thought it was 26th. I'm sorry. 26 is when they were found. Soto, who was expected to be induced to deliver her son, never showed up for her appointment on December 22nd, 2023. Soto and her boyfriend, Guerra, were last heard from on December 21st, 2023, according to family and police statements. Soto's family soon reported her as a missing person. Authorities issued a statewide clear alert on Christmas Day. One day later, on December 26, 2023, police said Soto and Guerra were found dead in Guerra's vehicle at a Leon Valley apartment complex. And I remember watching Ikemel and him going over the videos because now his parents, or at least his dad, I believe, is going to have some charges from this. I couldn't find a lot on him. This story is real hard. There just hasn't been anything except for like some bail requests, things like that. But his parents have been at his trial, and I guess his dad got served while he was walking in. So that's going to be interesting too, because his father, in the videos of the security cam videos in the apartment complex, there is seen Matthew and Savannah's car driving into the complex, someone getting out of it, and then a truck driving in and pulling up next to it, getting out, wiping everything down with what looks like to be a towel on the car, and then they all get in the truck and they leave. And that was Christopher's father, Ramon Preciado, and he helped him basically clean up evidence, hide this. And so there's most likely, depending on what happens with Christopher and what comes out with Christopher's trial, I assume there's probably going to be some charges coming for his dad. First, I'm going to show you, this might refresh someone's memory. This is Matthew and Savannah. And this is the thing is, and I'm going to have to look at this too, Doug. I swore that there was another case that came out right around the same time that had a Savannah in it. Something like that. But it was, it kind of competed for this one. And again, they basically arrested everyone. They arrested both the parents and the kid, which one he's not a kid. He was 19 or 20 at the time. To me, that's a kid. And so yeah, now Christopher, who was the one that actually pulled the trigger, is the one in court. So this is them. And this is Christopher. This was when he was arrested on the 26th. Now, 2 years later, finally at court. Yeah, and I think there was something like they were going to charge him with like, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain cloud right now. Like messing with a corpse, moving a body, things like that, like without permission. And so there is going to be something that, with him, because he did help try to cover it up, all of that. And I believe it was his mother's firearm. So they were trying to charge her with something, but because when the police got to their house, her bedroom door was locked, and that's where it was. And she was giving them a hard time about letting them in there. I mean, it's her son, okay. But so anyway, let me get to, this is the first video that I've got up, is the body cam footage of the day that they talked to him. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
But you're Netherlands? Great. Are you on? Yes. Okay.
Got my body cam on. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. How do you say your last name? Preciado? Preciado? Okay, Christopher. I'm never good at that. Whatever. What's your middle name, Chris? You go by Chris or Christopher? But you're Netherlands? Great. Are you on? Yes. Okay. Your date of birth is 97004. Phone number is 919-8220. So just as the detective size, is that your dad? Is that your dad?
Yes.
Okay, like you detective size, explaining about like why we're here, why we're taking prep, and he said he figured. But you know what this is all about too, right? You don't have any idea why we're taking the prep, why we're contacting you?
Sometimes does look like ours.
What video are you referencing?
The case I video, the one that they put on the news.
The one with the pregnant girl? It was messing? Okay. Do you know anything about that?
It wasn't that. It was a truck. It was just some, they said they found a suspect.
Okay.
And that was
Do you know anything about that call though? Okay.
a call?
Yeah.
The call didn't get a call.
No. For us, like a police call is what it,
I saw it on the news.
but do you know what it was a reference to? Okay.
You know, I really didn't keep up with the news. We just caught it on the news.
Who else lives here besides you and your dad? Your mom?
Mother, my dog.
You're just like, okay. Hey, that way, man. Dog, no family equals 100%. Okay. I said, so we're going to do some stuff here. You guys want to hold on?
And it's
No problem, my 2 cents. That's why I figured I'd do the Clawz part of my channel while we watch this today, because I figured it was good listening. And excuse me. And yeah, I figure most of us would be working or doing whatever this time of day. So oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, it warmed up again today, so I'm like hacking. Motive, I believe it was robbery, because Matthew was a known Mary Jane dealer, and there were like text messages back and forth between them, and what it looked like was he had asked Matthew to come over there so that he could buy some smoke, and had them like pull in the garage. And when he brought it out, he shot both of them. There was, if I remember correctly, there was actually like bloody money found like in the street. Like he had taken the money back and dropped it or something like that. But he took the car from home and drove it to this apartment building.
Good to be with you. I'm Henry Ramos.
And yeah, my allergies are all over the place. So I got another bag of cinnamon buttons. So so if I'm sucking on hard candy while I'm talking, I'm so sorry if it drives anybody nuts. But
First at 4, security is tight and emotions are high at the capital murder trial of Christopher Preciado. This morning, testimony began in the case that involves the shooting death of a teen mom, her unborn baby, and her partner. It's been more than 2 years since the couple was found shot in the head and what police say was a failed drug deal to buy marijuana. Sue Calvert has been inside the courtroom all day. She joins us live. Sue, what can you tell us?
And, you know, one of the most emotional moments of the morning was when they first introduced pictures of the actual crime scene where the bodies were discovered. In an emotional moment, Savannah Soto's mom had to come outside. She was on the bench for a while just sobbing and crying. That was very emotional. Now, the two witnesses who followed that told the jury of being called to the victim's car because it had been found and the bodies were inside. The two women both said they immediately realized that something was terribly wrong. Then two police officers talked about arriving and having to take steps to preserve the integrity of the crime scene while the grieving relatives tried to break the car windows to give aid to the victims. The body-worn camera video featured a soundtrack of the people screaming. The emotional video left family members struggling to hold on to their composure on what was obviously one of their worst days ever. Then a San Antonio firefighter and medic talked of finally gaining access to that car and discovering that the bodies were obviously well beyond saving. Now, at this hour, testimony continues. There's been no word yet on how long they will go on today with regard to the future. There is a court order that prohibits us from streaming the proceedings live. So we have been following along, giving updates on text on KENS5.com, and that's what we will continue to do for the duration of the trial. Live at the Bexar County Justice Center, Sue Calvert, KENS 5.
okay, so that's the background of this trial. And ooh, I cannot type today, can I? I swished my words together. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad you caught me too. We're just going to do kind of a chill live stream this afternoon. And yeah, so that's the backstory of this. And so there's not a lot on it because they're not allowed to live stream. So let me find this. So this is the opening statements.
Today, the capital murder trial of Christopher Preciado has been underway for the past 2 hours in 29th District Court. He's accused of killing pregnant mom Savannah Soto and her partner Matthew Guerra back in December 2023. KENS 5's Sue Calvert has been in the courtroom, and she has a summary of what the jury has heard so far.
Jeremy, we've had opening statements from both sides so far, and we heard from the first witness who actually got a call from a friend and went to the apartment where the car with the bodies inside was found. So the prosecutor, Melissa Alban, in her opening remarks told the jury that Chris Preciado killed the couple because Matthew Guerra had money and he wanted it. She said in a matter of a few seconds, he executed an entire family in the name of greed. And the couple and their unborn baby didn't deserve to die. Now,
apparently he just like openly admitted that he just, because he wanted the money. He knew he had money. That was it.
The defense attorney, Joseph Esparza, countered by telling the jury there's very little physical evidence linking Preciado to the crime, and he was just a young man who...
Oh, you know what? I don't know. I forgot about that. I'm glad you reminded me. I'll have to look into that.
Panicked in a threatening situation. So the first witness to take the stand was a woman who said she received a phone call from a friend who lived at the apartment complex where the bodies of the victims were found in their car in an isolated spot. And she talked about seeing the bodies inside the car. The woman, who's deaf, said she contacted a friend and asked that friend to call police. And that is when the capital murder investigation began in earnest. Now, the pace has been fast. The courtroom is actually jam-packed with friends and family of the victims. And there has been a ruling by the court that the proceedings cannot be live streamed. Now, we're recording them, so we will have snippets throughout the broadcast day. We will bring you more as we get it. But in the meantime, at KENS5.com, we are live streaming remarks, just the words. We're providing you with the ongoing transcript as the day progresses, and we're going to do that throughout the trial, live at the Justice Center.
Let's see. Now, oh, and here, get this up. So this is a clip, well, a 15-minute clip about, and this is the defense's opening statements. So we're going to see what they have to say. This was so sad. And I remember at the funeral, they had the little boy in her arms, and just sad that just because someone else's greed. I mean, this, Matthew Guerra wasn't a perfect guy. He sold drugs, but they didn't deserve this. Neither of them did. She didn't deserve this. Their baby didn't deserve this. And it's just sick. There seems to be a lot of sick individuals running around. But at least this one, they caught this one. So we'll watch this, and I'll turn on the claw cam, and we'll get started with our afternoon.
May it please the court, opposing counsel, members of the jury. This was Matthew Guerra and Savannah Soto. But this was also Matthew Guerra and Savannah Soto and their son that they were going to name Fabian. You're going to hear that they lived a lifestyle that many of us don't understand, we don't identify with, and we don't agree with. You're going to hear that they made choices that many of us would not make. But the penalty for those poor choices should not be execution. And the evidence is going to prove to you that on December 21st of 2023, that is exactly what Christopher Preciado did. And they're and for no other reason than he needed money and Matthew had a lot of it. You see, even though Matthew and Savannah were not perfect, as none of us are, they were excited to welcome Fabian into the world. And on December 23rd of 2023, that was what they were going to do. They had an appointment at the hospital because Savannah was past her due date and she was set to be induced. And you're going to hear that their family and loved ones went to the hospital for that momentous occasion. And when they got there, they waited and they waited, and Savannah and Matthew did not show up. You're going to hear that they called them and they got no answer. You're going to hear that they went to their apartment.
Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that they had all gone to the hospital. The whole family had gone to the hospital and waited. I thought that, you know, the mom or something just went and they didn't show up, or the doctor called or something. That's even sadder.
And they looked for them and they were not there, but the apartment looked fine. So they reported them as missing. And you're going to hear for 3 days, their families searched and scoured and used all of the resources at their disposal to try to find them. They used the news, the internet, social media, flyers, you name it. They did it for 3 days until December 26th. And on December 26th, you're going to hear that one of Savannah's friends, Joni, got a message the day after Christmas that somebody thought they had found Matthew's car. And so Joni sent that information to law enforcement, and then her and 2 of Savannah's brothers went to that location, an apartment complex at 5903 Danny K. And they're going to tell you that it took them a minute to find the car because it was parked in the furthest corner of that complex up against a fence next to a pile of scrap lumber. And when they got there, they saw something that they had hoped and prayed they would never find. She's going to tell you that as she walked up to that car and she looked inside, she saw Savannah in the passenger seat, dead, covered in junk, the baby carrier on her belly. And you're going to hear that she was so distraught by this discovery, she didn't even notice Matthew lying down in the back seat, also dead. You're going to hear that thankfully, right about the same time as Joni and Savannah's brothers got there, law enforcement arrived as well. And with the more and more family of the 2 that arrived, it became an emotionally charged scene. And they had to do everything they could to protect the integrity of that crime scene and whatever evidence might have still been there, because they didn't know how long that car had been sitting and how long their bodies had been sitting. And you're going to hear that paramedics got there. They broke into the car because it was locked. And they checked and they verified that they were gone and had apparently been for a while. And then investigators took over. You're going to hear they processed the car, they collected evidence, they took photographs. And once the ME's office came and took Savannah and Matthew's bodies, they were able to actually get inside and see what they were dealing with, because at first they couldn't tell. And you're going to hear that the more that they looked, the more they evaluated what was there and what wasn't. This was adding up more and more like someone did this to them and not like they did this to themselves. You're going to hear that they did not find a gun in that car. You're going to hear that there were items that you would think would be there of value that were not, including Matthew's wallet, his ID, money, some rings that he regularly wore on his hands. Savannah didn't have a purse. You're going to hear that based on the lack of evidence and the actual evidence that was there, including the bullet wounds to their heads, this was looking like someone did this to them. So they started their capital murder investigation. And you're going to hear that, like many of these investigations, they looked for one of the most common things that we jump to, which is surveillance video. And thankfully, they found some at that apartment complex. Not as much as we would have wanted, and not in all the places we would have hoped. But they got some. And from that video and the evidence they recovered in Matthew's car, they were able to develop leads. And they followed those leads because it gave them an idea of who the suspect might be and what kind of car they might be in. And the more they looked, the more the trail led directly to the front door of Christopher Preciado. Because what law enforcement didn't know at the time, but would later find out, is that Christopher and Matthew knew each other. Christopher was a client of Matthew's and would buy marijuana from him on occasion. And you're going to hear that on the night of December 21st of 2023, Matthew and Chris had an agreement, an arrangement. They were going to meet at Chris's house to do a transaction. So when Savannah and Matthew got into their car around 11:45 that night and drove straight to his house, they had no idea that they would never return home. Because when they pulled up, Christopher got in the back seat with a gun, and within a minute or so, he shot them in the side and in the back of the head. And what you are not going to hear What the evidence is not going to show is that right after he did that, he called 911 and said, I did this, but I did it in self-defense. I did it because I was afraid for my life. You're not going to hear that he did that. You're not going to hear that after he shot Matthew and his pregnant girlfriend, that he said he did it because he was afraid or because Matthew had threatened him. But here they are, and she's pregnant, get help. No, what you're going to hear is that after he shot them in the head, he moved Matthew's lifeless body into the back seat. He got in the driver's seat next to Savannah, and he drove them to that apartment complex less than a mile from his house where he would dump the bodies. And on the way there, he called his parents, and he asked them to meet him so he could have a ride home. And you're going to hear that when he got to that apartment, he found the most obscure, far-off corner where he could park that car next to that pile of scrap lumber up against a fence in hopes that it wouldn't be found for a while. And then he wiped it down, and then he got in his dad's truck with his parents, and he went home, where he seemingly hid out for a while. Because from the time he killed them to the time he was found, 13 days passed. They were in that car for 5 days before they were found. 5 days he left them there. Now you're going to hear that once the police got to the door of Christopher Preciado, that's the first time he says that he was a victim. But the evidence isn't going to support that. We talked in jury selection about the elements of self-defense and what is required, those 4 legs of that chair. And you're going to hear that the evidence does not support any of those elements. You're going to hear from Detective Goodwin, who was the lead investigator on this case. And he's going to tell you that the more he evaluated, the more he investigated, the more he uncovered, the more inconsistent Christopher's story was with the facts and the evidence. You're also going to hear from Dr. Molina, who is the medical examiner. She examined both of their bodies. And she's going to tell you that the physical evidence, the locations of their gunshot wounds, the trajectories of the bullets through their heads, that's physical evidence that doesn't lie. And she's going to tell you, based on the evaluation of that evidence, the way Chris explained this happening is not consistent with that scientific evidence. Because again, the evidence is not going to support a justification here, because he did not do this because he was in fear for his life. He did it for money. He did it because he needed it, and Matthew had it. That's what the evidence is going to support. Now, because of the nature of the case, I have to warn you, there are going to be things that you're going to hear and that you're going to see that are going to be difficult. But like we talked about during jury selection, we have to prove every single one of these elements beyond a reasonable doubt for every single one of these counts. And we have to disprove self-defense beyond a reasonable doubt. So we're going to have to bring you that hard evidence, but we will try our best to be sensitive to the nature of the evidence. But we have to bring it to you for Matthew and Savannah and for Fabian. Because at the end of the day, you're going to hear that there was nothing that happened in that car on that night that justified Christopher Preciado and taking out a gun and taking out an entire family in less than 30 seconds. So we're going to ask that you hold him accountable for that and that you find him guilty of all 3 counts of capital murder.
May I proceed, Your Honor? Members of the jury, there's no doubt that this is a difficult case. People die. That loss is real. It deserves respect, and it will not be minimized. But your job is not to measure grief or to assign moral blame. It's to answer a very specific legal question of whether or not the state has proven those allegations and all those elements in the indictment that you just saw beyond a reasonable doubt. That standard exists for moments like this, exactly like this, because there can be no rush to judgment here. Now, the prosecutor laid out her theory of the case and what she believed the evidence would show. And there were a lot of assumptions in that theory. What she did not say, and what we believe the evidence will show, is that there are no eyewitnesses to this offense. Nobody's going to testify that said they saw Christopher Preciado pull a trigger with any sort of intent or deliberation. There's no video evidence of this crime that took place. You're not going to receive any blood spatter evidence that implicates him in this capital murder. There's no DNA evidence that's going to implicate him of capital murder. The evidence will show you're not going to find any evidence of fingerprints of any kind that would implicate him in this capital murder. And there's going to be no gunshot residue evidence that puts a gun in his hand on the date of the offense. You may hear opinions, you may hear interpretations, but opinions and interpretations, even beliefs, are not enough. And the law draws a distinction between beliefs, even experienced beliefs, and what the evidence will show and what is needed to prove something beyond a reasonable doubt. You will hear or may hear that my client gave a statement to the police, but he did not confess to a crime. He did not admit to shooting anybody deliberately. He described a chaotic situation, a drug transaction gone wrong where a gun is pulled on him by the drug dealer, a struggle, and then chaos when shots are fired after that. That is not capital murder. You also hear what happened afterwards. You may hear evidence about an attempt to move the vehicle, an attempt to conceal or clean. Actions done, particularly the cleaning, by Ramon Preciado, Christopher's father, not by him. It's not commendable. It's not perhaps what you or I might have done, but you may hear evidence of panic or fear given his youth. And you will hear evidence that will garner strong reactions, and it is human to react strongly to this. But the law requires that you separate tragedy from intent and suspicion from certainty. Capital murder is the most serious accusation the law allows. Its proof to convict on it must be of the highest caliber. When you examine the evidence closely and you separate the science from the inference, you'll see that a lot of the state's theory is not as firmly established as they claim it to be. You may hear that a weapon was found in this case, that the state will try to link to Christopher Preciado, but the evidence will also show you that that weapon was found in the bedroom closet of his parents' bedroom. It's not his gun. If the evidence at the end of this trial leaves you with a...
Okay, I just want to say that the last I knew, it doesn't matter who owns the gun, right? You can still take someone's life with a gun that someone else owns. This is what's going to be interesting about this case to me, because it is pretty cut and dry. And I'm really interested in the next video I'm going to play after this, which is the interrogation tape, because that was the biggest mystery, is what he said. And it's, how are they going to spin this? Because that's what it's going to be. They're going to have to spin a tall tale, because you don't, put a bullet in the back of the head of someone, defense, usually someone has to be facing you or whatever. And then why the pregnant girlfriend? I mean, she probably couldn't even get out of the car. You saw in the picture, she was huge. Like this is what my interest in trials is how they spin this stuff. And especially with now how we get to hear so many facts before the case. You know, and with the trials that are televised completely, we get to hear the stuff that not even the jury gets to hear. So yeah, no, I'm interested in seeing how they spin this.
Reasonable doubt as to intent in this case, then a conviction for capital murder cannot stand. At the end of this trial, my partner and I will ask you to return a verdict of not guilty after you examine all of the evidence. That is not leniency. It is not a technicality. It's faithfulness to the law, to fairness, and to the oath you just took, and the responsibility that's been entrusted to you as jurors. Thank you for your attention.
Detective.
Okay, so next segue is this is the I believe the detective didn't. I have not gotten to watch this yet, so I'm going to be seeing this brand new just as much as you do. So, but this is supposed to be the interrogation of him. There's no way for them to prove Matthew pointed the gun at him first. I think the deliberations were quick on this one. We'll see. Yeah, you know, that's what I'm wondering. Or if it's going to be one of those red tape games, or, you know, they said there's no DNA evidence, but we all saw on the, if any of you saw the camera footage from the apartment complex, which that's something I'll do. I'll find those old videos because I know that's all out there. I'll find all those and I'll make a playlist so we can watch through those too while this goes on. But they took a t-shirt or something and we saw in the videos them wiping the whole car down and everything. And the pew pew was in his mother's room locked away by the time police got there. Well, it could have been cleaned. It could have been, you know, anything. And I can't, it was, well, what? It was the 21st that they were killed, the 26th when they were found. So 5 days later, he's not still going to have residue on his hands 5 days later. So it's going to be interesting as this information comes out, what really happened and how they're going to play this. Because I remember having the opinion kind of that this was, you know, kind of a spoiled kid that kind of got let to do whatever, live at home, you know, not have a job, just doing whatever, and thought he was going to get away with this too. And mom and dad come to the rescue once again, you know. Oh man, yeah. I mean, zooming in, turning them every which way. Yeah. I thought I was a forensics expert during this one with those videos. I mean, oh my gosh, trying to see. But isn't it funny? I remember watching, I can't remember if it was who it was that I was watching that was streaming it, but when they were talking about Ramon getting out and they're like, they identified him by his belly. I mean, how embarrassing that it was like the same shape. And yeah, me too, Nina. I'm loving it. I'm having people are coming back and loving it. Okay, here, I will quit talking and I will get to the, and yes, Nadia, yay, it's a nail day. It's a nail and it's a Clawz and crime day. So, for True Crime Tuesday. So here we go. And I apologize if there's anything triggering in here. Like I said, I have not watched this yet. I mean, I don't imagine there would be. It's just him in the interrogation room, but we'll see.
Good one. I'm going to hand you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 160 for identification and ask if you recognize 160.
Yes, ma'am.
What is State's 160?
It's my interview with the defendant.
Okay. And apart from the agreed upon modifications between the parties to comply with the rules of evidence, is State's Exhibit 160 a fair and accurate recording of your interview with the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we'd like to offer the evidence.
Objection. States 160 will be admitted.
May I publish, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
do something right here, okay? You want one more? No, I'm good. You good? Okay, you take it down when you get in there. Nice.
Did a little bit of time pass before you were able to go in and meet with him?
Yes, ma'am, it did.
Did you have the occasion to, I guess, watch his behavior as he sits in the room waiting for you?
Yes, ma'am. I went back and reviewed.
Fast forward to 18. What is he doing, detective?
The defendant appeared to find a hair on his sleeve. He's rolling it up in his finger. And then once he's done, he'll place it in his pocket, in his right pocket.
Fast forwarding to 1809:35. What does he do right here, detective?
The defendant went to move his chair, but instead of grabbing the chair, he used his wrist or his palm to move the chair without touching the chair with his fingertips.
Oh, sneaky. Look at that now. That seems intentional.
In watching his interview, when you're not in the room with him, does he ever do the hair thing again?
He does it numerous times.
And then fast forward to 1839.
Good, okay? That's our police department. You're right here in a patrol vehicle, right? Okay, how old are you, 19? Okay, just because you're riding in a patrol vehicle, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and read your rights. Okay? So this thing's on it already. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and read those for you, okay? Before you're asking any questions, it's my duty as a police officer to advise you of your rights and warn you of the consequences of the way with these rights. You have a right to remain silent. You do not have to make any statement or render anyone. Any statement that you make will be used in evidence against you for law or arrest trial. You have a right to have a lawyer present to advise you before and during any question by police officers or attorneys representing the state. You may have your own lawyer present, or if you're unable to employ a lawyer, the court will appoint a lawyer for free of charge whenever you time. If you decide to talk with anyone you can, and you can stop talking to them at any time you want. The above rights or continuing rights which can be urged by you at any stage of proceedings. Can you understand? What's your name, man? Christopher. Christopher? What's your last?
Preciado, PRE, CIA, DO.
What's your address?
5735, Charlie Chan, and Drive.
You working right now?
Nothing
Nothing else?
As a student, where do you go to school? SAC. Okay. How close are you to being done? I just started. I just started high school. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just finished my first semester.
How do you like it?
Pretty interesting.
It's pretty interesting. What's your major?
Pharmacy.
Pharmacy? There you go, man. So good. What's the phone number?
210 919 8220.
And you said you're 19.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your birth?
9704.
Okay. Maybe email address? No. You have you have social?
I don't want to get it wrong, that's fine. I get mixing up some numbers.
Okay. Are you married right now? No. Other than your, well, you got that stuff, any relative that if I can't get a hold of you, I can contact and say, hey, this is Christian.
I guess my dad.
Your dad? And what's your dad's name?
We're going for seven.
Is that the same address as you?
Mm-hmm.
You know his phone number?
210 289
Mm-hmm.
2830.
Okay. So I'm again, I'm Detective Goodman, okay? I already spoke to your father, right? So I kind of got a little bit of kind of what he was talking about. So I kind of want to talk to you. You told me that I need to talk to you. Okay. So I'm investigating a case where a couple people were killed. Okay. And then obviously talking to your dad, he's broken it down that he helped pick you up at the location. Can you walk me through that now?
Maybe like walk you through.
Oh, just what were you doing that day?
Well, I guess, I don't know, I woke up late. I just got it off of, I don't know actually, what day was it? I don't think I got out of school. I think I'd already been out of school.
Okay, it was December 21st.
Yeah, I was getting out of bed late because I had already been out of school for like a week.
Okay.
I don't know, just kind of a normal day, a little bit, just wake up, brush my teeth, take a shower, basic stuff. I texted, what's his name? I don't know his actual name.
What's the name of your
Guapo.
Guapo? Okay.
Guapo or something, but that's what he goes by.
Guapo or Flaco?
Yeah, Guapo or Flaco or something.
I'm going to call it 1843. Detective, with regard to those nicknames, what was he referring to?
He was referring to the names of Matthew.
Yeah, and I believe it's been, like I said, it's been a year and a half since I've even thought about this. It just popped in my head the other night. I thought that was something that the ballistics did match, and I don't know about phone pings, but I thought there were text messages going back and forth between them. And did he have one of their phones? I'm trying to think. I can't remember. Maybe it'll hopefully come out in the trial. There was something else with the phone, and I can't remember what it was.
His nickname was Flaco, according to research done in our SAPD databases, and then his social media was Guapo.
So you texted him on your phone number or like Instagram, Telegram?
Oh, it was Instagram.
Instagram? What's your Instagram name?
I deleted mine after the incident because.
What was yours?
Deposit 1843-54. Detective, was that true?
No, ma'am.
How did you know that was not true?
Well, through my investigation, I was able to secure through a search warrant his Instagram, and it was still active.
It was like a, I don't know how to put it. Like, can I write it down?
Yeah.
It was kind of like a, you know, those meme accounts. It was one of those.
Oh, okay.
So I posted like cringy stuff on there.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to make a joke out of it. But not out of the situation. I meant that account was more of a joke.
Okay, so it's names from CBS?
Yeah.
And then, or names from CBS? Okay.
Detective, can you spell that for us? I know you're saying Zans from CBS, but how would we spell that?
It's XANSFROM
And is that an account that you sent a warrant to through Instagram?
Yes, ma'am.
And after he gave you his account, and I'm sure after this interview, did you attempt to look up that account yourself on Instagram?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you did that, what, if anything, did you find?
So on Instagram, when you look up an account still active, it shows active. If not, it says like error account doesn't exist. So that account was still active. At the top, underneath the photo, when people have linked accounts on there, they can link their account and it shows that linked account. So I was able to find a secondary account associated with the Zans from CBS account.
And what was the name of that account?
It was OD with me, por favor.
And how did you spell that?
ODWITH MEPORFAVOR.
And in the interview, does he offer up that Instagram account name?
No, ma'am.
Does he offer up the XXVII?
No, ma'am.
Objection to leading off. Sustained leading.
When you sent your search warrant to Instagram, what, if anything, did you find with regards to Zans from CBS as far as other linked accounts?
When I sent and I got the warrant back, the linked account was listed as OD with me, por favor, and the name, the first, under the first name, under the warrant return, the first name was XXVII.
No, the situation that account was more of a joke.
Okay, so it's names from CBS?
Yeah.
And then, or names from CBS? Okay. Can you take that?
No.
Okay.
It was just because of, that rapper.
Okay. Yeah.
Zan rapper. So
Yeah,
I just kind of just took it from him.
Okay. Did you work at CBS or something?
No.
You just made it up, you trying to get money?
Yeah, trying to be funny about it.
And you said you didn't need it. When did you delete it?
Like, I don't know, I think a couple days after.
Did you create a new account?
No, I just stayed off.
You stayed off. Okay. So you said you texted him. Do you remember what time you texted him on Instagram?
No, it was kind of late though.
It was late. And then what
I texted him earlier in the day, but he said he was doing other stuff, delivering other people, so.
what were you trying to get from him?
I tried to buy a little bit of weed,
Okay.
honestly.
That's perfect. I don't care about you. So you're trying to buy some weed? How much are you looking at?
I was trying to buy like 7 grams.
7 grams? How much did you charge for 7 grams?
Like 60 or 70. Kind of a lot compared to
what's out there?
like no, I mean like back then it wasn't really cheap.
Oh, yeah, no, you get it.
$2 or $3.
Yeah, it was cheap. When I was younger, it was way cheaper. And it skyrocketed. So you're trying to buy some weed. What did you text?
Just the thing that I always ask him, just like, yo, what's up? Just seeing what he was doing.
Okay.
See if he was, going around. Selling or anything.
Okay. And then, how many times have you lost him before?
Like,
I meant to say, thanks for coming in, Doug. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later.
for the past few months, maybe like 5 times. 5, 6 times probably actually.
5 or 6 times.
But it's because it's always the same amount.
Okay, you always get 7 grams.
I really like going towards him because he always posted pictures with guns and stuff, and that was something else to me.
That was something else.
I didn't feel, I don't want to associate with that, you know?
Yeah, you just want to get your stuff calm down and go off your day, right?
Just after a long, hard day of work, you know?
Yeah.
Schoolwork and stuff.
Yeah, just calm yourself down. So when you text him, and then what did you tell him?
He told me he was busy.
Okay.
And then he was, I don't know what he was doing at the time, honestly, but he just told me he was busy doing other stuff first.
Okay.
And then he told me he was gonna come drop to me.
Okay.
That's what he told me.
Where was he going to drop to you at?
At my house.
At your house. Okay. And then do you remember what time he arrived at your house?
No,
No.
honestly, no.
Okay. And then what happened when he arrived at your house?
When he arrived at my house, he was kind of agitated already with me. Like, he was like, man, I told you to be out here already. Why aren't you already out here waiting for me?
I'm gonna pause it at 1847. Detective, was that consistent with what you uncovered in your interview? Or I'm sorry, in your investigation?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
We were able to obtain surveillance footage from the defendant's residence. The defendant's residence had a camera in the driveway, as well as another camera that showed towards the driveway. The defendant was outside location waiting for him for several minutes before the victim got there.
What about the agitation he references? Was that consistent with what you saw in the text messages?
No, ma'am.
So I was a little scared at that point because all the pictures he posts, he's always posting just guns and stuff, and that's not something I want to associate myself with.
Okay.
So I just wanted to get a buzz, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I got in the backseat of his car.
Okay.
And he was already agitated. He was like, come on, man, just get the fuck in. Just get the fuck in, bro. Come on, hurry up. Let's do this and just get out of here.
Okay.
So I was like, what? It was weird to me because that was the first time he's ever, like, told me to get in his car.
Okay. So that,
It was abnormal to me because he always just like this, pass it to me through the window.
Okay.
And then he just drives away.
Okay.
So it was weird to me that he wanted me to get in the back already.
Okay.
So I didn't know how to go about that. I didn't want to be like, no, because I didn't know what it was going to escalate to.
Yeah.
So it's just
You're okay. You're okay. You're talking, man.
it's just a shitty situation.
Sure.
I don't know.
So then what happened after you got in the car?
Well, after I got in the car, he was already agitated with me from the outside because he literally got out of the car. I was like, hey, bro, what the fuck? I told you to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait right here because he parks on the side sometimes.
Okay.
And so he was like, hey, man, what the fuck? I thought I told you to be out here. I don't want my parents knowing that I smoke, so,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just kind of trying to hide it from them.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. But, you know, after I got in the car, he's already agitated. Like, before he even, like, pulls out, normally he just hands me the thing and I hand him the money and he goes his way. But he was already agitated when I got in the car and whenever he was yelling at me and shit.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you cuss as much as you want, man.
Sorry. It's just a scary situation.
Yeah. I mean,
It was
be yourself, brother.
scary for me there.
Yeah, just be yourself, like I said. So he's cussing at you.
He's agitated.
Yeah, agitated.
Just mostly like I don't know what he's agitated about, but I can tell he's on something. Because normally when he drops to me, he's always smoking or he's a little like that kind of loopy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, he looked a little dazed,
Yeah.
confused a little bit. So I don't know if he was, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, I could tell he was on something like that wasn't his normal behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know, I don't really know him, so I can't tell you what his own behavior is.
Okay.
But no, after I got in the car, normally he'll be like, here's the weed, or he'll be like, here, let me get the money from you.
Mm-hmm.
But it was weird because he wanted me to get in the car, and sorry, it's just hard to get to this part.
Okay. Take your time with it.
So he's already getting agitated with me, and his girl's not helping it. She's trying to talk to him, like he's trying to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she was talking to him about something, but he just kept getting agitated with her.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, man, can you shut the fuck up? He was trying to tell her to shut up. Because me and her were talking, I was like, no, I'll just be quiet. Y'all can talk. Go ahead. I didn't want to. The situation already seemed a little nerve-wracking.
Mhm.
So after he was like getting agitated with her, he has like something right here where he has his gun.
Yeah.
And what he did was he was like already agitated with her, and he was just sitting there. And then all of a sudden he's like, man, bro, you know what? He was like, yo, bro, just get the fuck out, bro. Just get the fuck out. And I was like, what are you talking about? You know, I was kind of confused. He was like, bro, just get the fuck out. And I'm like, why do you want me to get out? And I was like, whatever. I'm just like, I'm gonna take the loss. I don't wanna.
Yeah. So you already gave him the money?
Yeah, I already given him the money.
Okay.
I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't, because I gave him 100. I wanted my change. He started upping the price on me and stuff. And he didn't want to do that, so I don't know. He was getting upset with me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the loss. I didn't say that out loud, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna just leave it at this. Just go my own way, just go home, you know, just call it a loss. So I was about to get out, but I guess I went like this, like to grab my phone because I wanted to flash because it's dark in the middle of the night. I had never been in that car before, so I didn't want to step on anything. So I was just opening the door. I was about to open the door. I like go like this for my phone. I try to turn the flash on, and then as soon as he does that, he reacts. He goes like this, and he pulls the little gun on me.
Okay.
And I didn't know what to do at that point.
Okay.
I was like, I'm just going for my phone, bro. I'm just going for my phone. Like I didn't know how to. I don't know how else to react in this situation. And then he was like, bro, just like he was like, sit back fucking down, bro. What are you reaching for? Like he was like gonna pat me down. And then he kind of had it in my face, and I saw I was looking in there. There was already one in there. So I was scared. I didn't know how.
Yeah.
So, like I could tell, instead of having it on the side like in most movies, he had it on the trigger. So I was just, sorry, it's just okay. Sorry. He was about to pull it, I could tell, because he had it like that, like he was already like about to like pull it. And as soon as he was just constantly.
And something I remember from this originally too is that none of the angles lined up from his story. So if he was turned around if Matthew was turned around, there's no way he could have gotten him in the back of the head the way that he said that he did. I believe that was one of the conclusions that they had come to.
And you just continuously like, bro, what the fuck are you like reaching for? Like, he just kept asking me that, and I didn't know how to. I was like, so because I picked my hands up quick, I was like, bro, like, you're like, stop. I had him like this. I was like, bro, stop. Just stop, bro. I just want to go, bro. I don't want to deal with this. Sorry. I could already tell since I knew there was one in there. I could see it in there. He had his little top light on. That's what scared me the most, because after you turn that on, I could clearly see that it was loaded, and that's what. It was weird though, because you went like this instead of like, if it's right here, wouldn't you grab it with your right hand instead of your left?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. I mean, people are looking at different things. It can be left-handed or.
I don't know, that was weird to me.
Okay.
It's just, after he did that, I could tell he was about to pull it on me, so it was like this pretty much in my face. So I go like that, and then he pulls it.
Pulls the trigger? Okay.
And then
are you in the back seat?
I'm in the back seat.
So he's pointing at you, so it goes off in the back seat.
Yes, well, not in the back seat, like I push it because I don't want it in my face, you know, like this. So I go like that, and I kind of push it away, and I kind of duck down because I didn't want it to hit me. And he just went like that, and he started yelling, babe. I didn't know what he was yelling because I heard my ears were all ringing.
I'm gonna pause it. 1855-14. Detective, when you were clarifying what he said, you asked him, so you pushed it and it went off in the back seat? And he said no. Why did you think it would have gone off in the back seat?
Just because of what he said, it was in his face and he could see down the barrel and see a bullet. And so at first he said it was dark, and then he said that the light cabin had been turned on. So I figured for him to be able to see that, it'd have to be pretty much in his face where he was in the back seat.
Mm-hmm. And for him, in his version, when he's saying he hits it, what about that made you think it would have gone off in the back seat?
Just him sitting in his thing, pulling back this way, with him saying it's in my face. If he's in the back seat, if the gun's in his face and he can see it on a barrel, that's what made me think he was in the back seat.
If the finger's on the trigger versus on the side, what does that have to do with anything?
So the finger on the trigger, I mean, whenever you're keeping your, what we call your gun at index, which means you have your index finger pull like this, you have no finger in the trigger guard. When you have your finger on the trigger, the difference is obviously if you're pulling it back, it can go off. So when you keep your gun safe by keeping it at index. He was saying that it wasn't at index, it was on the trigger.
And so if the hand gets hit, what is?
So when your finger's on the trigger, if the hand gets hit, it's gonna pull the trigger back. Just because someone's gonna flex or move, it's gonna pull it back and cause fire.
Okay. And so based on his account at that moment, your interpretation was if it had happened when he said it would have gone off in the back seat.
From where he was explaining where the gun was at, yes, ma'am.
Would it, or did you see any damage in the vehicle consistent with that?
No, ma'am.
Presuming that.
And then he was going, hey, and he was like this, and he still had it in his left hand like this. And he was like, he just kept dealing babe to her. Because she just started like bleeding.
Where'd she
I can see she was bleeding right here.
On her left side?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Was it at 1855-39? Detective, is that description consistent with Savannah's wound?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
The injury to her and all the blood evidence was on the right side, or the back right, and then down on the right side.
And which side of her body would have been most exposed to the gun based on his version?
The left side.
In the center console?
Yeah.
Okay, you said she was sitting in the passenger side, right?
In his right side, like the t-shirt. So look, I'm right here.
So let's draw this out.
Because it's just,
Let's draw this out. Let's make it easier. Okay, so this is a car, right? So you got the front seat up here, and it's kind of split like that, and then you got the back seat. Okay, so where's she at?
he's in the
So
driver's
she's in the driver's seat. Okay, and then where's she at?
She's right here.
She's right here. Okay,
But she's
and
just,
then where are you? Are you in the center?
well, yeah, I had to sit right here because there was something, there was like a baby seat
A
right
baby seat right here in the center.
There was a baby seat taking up this whole side, so he didn't want me to get him on this side, he wanted me to get it on
Because
this
I'm
side.
sitting in the center. All right, so just point this
Not
way.
like in the center, but like kind of in the, I guess in the center, because it's the left seat, and the right seat's like in the middle of that.
Okay. And then so he has a gun right here, right?
Pretty much.
Like right in the center, right? And then you push it.
I push it, yeah.
Right, and then so all of a sudden it's already on the bed.
He had already had his finger on the trigger though when I was facing him.
When I was facing you.
Yes, he
Yeah.
already had it on his.
And then so you push
He had
it.
on the trigger, I pushed it and he, like, I guess he thought I was gonna grab something, but I don't have anything to grab.
And then, so you're saying he shot her? Okay, so she's not responding. And where's she bleeding from?
It looked like she just started bleeding like right here.
On the left side of her neck?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously she's here, right?
He has the light on your side,
Okay,
only on.
on her side, so it looks like she's bleeding on the left side of her neck.
It looks like she's bleeding on the left side of her neck and he's like, he's just yelling, babe, get up.
Okay.
But like, I don't know if he could actually see what was actually really happening in the situation. Cause he was still kind of like, not nodding off, but like in that same category. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, okay. Really loud.
So after he did that, he's like kind of panicking. He goes like that.
Did you catch what he said? She was nodding off. She wasn't nodding off. She was dying. And I just how did he not think that they were going to know that the injuries on these people didn't match what he had actually done? I mean, I don't know. I don't understand.
push her like that to see if she's like conscious, I guess. And then he's like turns it on me because I guess he realizes what's about happening. Because I was about to just walk, just gonna run.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I was about to reach for the door, he like faces towards me again, so I go like that.
Okay.
Like I push it instead of like that way, like I did the first time like that.
Mm-hmm.
He went like that.
Okay, so it came towards him. And then it went off again? Or what happened?
Because he had his finger on the trigger the whole time.
So you're saying it went off again?
Yes.
It went off again? And then what happened after did he get shot?
I assume so because he stopped talking.
Okay.
He just went from yelling and agitated and all like just pissed off to just quiet.
Okay. And then what happened?
I didn't know what to do in the situation. I couldn't tell my dad, I couldn't tell my mom. And they didn't even know that I was buying weed at the time, so it was just, I didn't know how to go about it.
Okay.
So I didn't know what to do. So I put him in the back seat where I was sitting, and I drove the car.
Where did you drive it to?
I drove it to the apartments and left it there.
Did you meet anybody in the apartments?
Me? No. I called my dad.
Okay,
I told him, I was like, can you go to the apartments and pick me up, please?
Okay.
And he was like, why? What happened? He's like, I thought you were home. And I was like, can you just go to the apartments and pick me up? And he's like, what's happening? What's happening? Like, it's like a normal dad would react. Just questioning what's happening. I didn't want to tell him anything. I didn't know how to react to it. I had just put the guy in the back seat and closed it. I don't know. I don't know how to react to it. I just almost got robbed, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then he pulls it on me. And then I push her away, and then she's not talking anymore. She's not doing anything anymore. And then he turns it on me again because he wants to, obviously he wants to, And
So when you get to the apartment, what do you do with the apartments?
when I get to the apartment, I looked for my dad's truck in the car, and I had all the lights off, so he couldn't see in there. I had the windows up. So after that, I saw his truck, and I put my window down. I kind of flashed at him. I was like, "Are you okay?" He was by himself, so I was like, "Okay, I should be okay then, I guess." So
In the closet at 1940, or 1900. Detective, is that consistent with the evidence you uncovered?
No, man.
Why not?
He said when his dad arrived, he arrived by himself. Again, we had video surveillance that was obtained from the defendant's house under search warrant. The video surveillance shows his father and his mother, Myrta, leaving the location together to go to the location.
And when the vehicles arrive at Danny K, what do you observe on that video that is, if anything, that's inconsistent with what he's saying here?
When they meet up, Dad gets out, speaks to him. Dad gets a towel, which appears to be thrown from the inside of the truck towards the driver's seat, and Ramon proceeds to wipe things down, and then they relocate after they have that initial conversation.
In that exchange that you're referring to, does the defendant stay inside the car?
He gets out of the car for a brief second and then gets back in.
Okay. And when he gets out of the car in that exchange, where was Ramon?
He was in the doorway.
I drove it to the parking spot, and I left it there, and I tried to clean. I don't know.
You try to clean it?
I mean, yeah,
How did you try to clean it?
I had a hoodie on at the time, and I was just like that on top of the steering wheel.
Okay, so hold on a second. So you're wiping it with a hoodie. What hoodie were you wearing?
It was black.
The black one? Is that still at your house?
I don't know. I think so.
Where would it be in your house?
I don't know.
In your room?
I mean, Maybe, I don't know. No, I didn't throw it in the washer after. I didn't know what to do.
So you basically start cleaning. How long? Where were you cleaning?
I was told you I was clearing the steering wheel.
Oh, the steering wheel.
I had just put my finger around it and I didn't know. No, but the thing that I'm talking about, the cleaning, I was going with my hoodie.
Okay, so over the steering wheel. Okay. Did you wipe the inner part of the vehicle?
No.
No. Okay. Do you remember what he was wearing?
What he was wearing?
Yeah.
Kind of looked like a tracksuit.
What color was it?
It was darker color.
What about her?
I turned on her light.
What about her? What was she wearing?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I just saw she was pregnant. Cause she had her shirt like, kind of, I guess it was hot for her, so that's why she had her shirt like this.
I'm done. So let's go back kind of to the, how much, like, obviously you said he shot, and where was he when he was shot? You said he was in the front seat?
Yes, because I turned it back on him.
Turned it back on. Okay. And then when you moved him, explain to me how you moved him.
Just put him in the back seat.
Did you pick him up? Did you just explain how you did that? So did you just pick him up underneath his arms? Did you drag him on the ground?
I was already in the back seat still, so I just kind of pulled him in.
Oh, so you did it from the front of the vehicle, from the inside the car? You never took him outside the car?
No. I never took him out. Why would I don't know. There's no.
I'm gonna pause it at 329. Detective, is that consistent with what you found in your investigation?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
But the blood evidence showed, as I explained the other day, blood evidence showed the droplets in the frame of the driver's side, or the driver door. And then also the blood on the sidewall, in the rim, in the wheel well, in the tread, and as well as on the side on that seat pillar that I was explaining, back into the back seat of the car.
Do you recall speaking to a person named Britt Melendez?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there anything about what she shared with you that rendered what he said inconsistent?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that?
She found,
Objection. This is information acted on, Your Honor. It explains his investigation and it's already in evidence. And it doesn't negate hearsay.
Rephrase your question, State.
What, if anything, from Ms. Melendez did you rely on in assessing the credibility of the defendant's statements?
what she found,
And what was that?
$160 with blood on it.
Okay, and after, I guess further down the line in your investigation, what was determined as to the owner or the donor of that blood?
The victim's, Matthew Guerra's blood was determined to be on that $160.
And then with regard to him saying that he pulled Matthew through in between the seats, I'm gonna approach with the court's permission. With State's Exhibit 163. So I did mark a couple other exhibits that I'm gonna offer a little later, so I'm just a little out of order. I apologize. Maybe 163, 164, and 165. Yes. Detective, I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 163, 164, and 165, and ask if you recognize those photographs.
Yes, ma'am.
Are State's Exhibits 163, 4, and 5 fair and accurate depictions of what's contained in the photographs?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we'd offer into evidence those 3 exhibits.
No objection. State 163 to 165 will be admitted.
May I publish now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to start with 163, Detective.
And with the touchscreen in front of you, I'm gonna ask you, what, if anything, in this exhibit, oh, here we go. Okay. What, if anything, in this exhibit contributed to your assessment that what the defendant was saying was inconsistent with the evidence?
What I was looking at, obviously there appeared to be large quantity of apparent blood in the center console. He was stating that he brought him over the center console in between the two seats. Matthew's very tall and lanky. To bring him over, you'd have to go through, like I said, the center console's legs would drag. What I was looking at was this apparent blood streaking down. What I believe is if he's bringing him over that way, that would have streaked coming through that center console.
And since you did visually see this car yourself, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How much space is approximately between the driver and the passenger seat?
Approximately 10 inches, maybe.
10 inches?
10 to 12, yeah.
Okay, would you say that's a lot or not a lot of space?
That's not a lot of space.
Okay. And State's Exhibit 164. Can you point out for us from that angle what it is you're referring to?
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking at pretty much the whole side on this one. What I'm lacking, because Matthew, there's obviously a large quantity of blood as we saw from the door and the front driver door in the back. There's a lack of blood here, and then this is still streaked straight down with no apparent transfer or smear.
Okay. And you mentioned a lack of blood. How tall was Matthew?
He was, I think, approximately 6 foot 1 inches.
Okay, so where that headrest is, did you observe any blood on that headrest?
No, ma'am.
Consistent with if he's like sitting up straight when he got shot?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And then State's Exhibit 165. What, if anything, about this photo was significant to your evaluation of the defendant's claims?
Again, the lack of apparent blood. And I was looking at the roof. There was no apparent streak marks. Matthew's very tall. I would have expected if he didn't go through that low, he would have had to go very high. Because like I said, Matthew's a tall individual.
All right, 1903-29.
But I didn't see the point taking them out because then everyone's gonna see them.
Everyone's gonna see them. Did you take them out of the car?
I didn't even mean for this to happen. It just, he pointed it at me. I didn't know how else to react.
So, did you ever take them out of the car at all?
No.
So you just pulled them from the front seat to the back seat?
Yeah, but I was like, I had the door open, the back door open, and I pulled him back and I just kind of left him on the seat like if he was sitting there.
Okay. And
I
then,
didn't know what to do.
and then whenever you left, did you look at him before you left? How was he sitting?
He was kind of like a little bit against the seat, like
Like the back
he was
seat?
like this is the back, like this, right? But he was like this, like he was asleep.
Like forward?
Yeah, kind of like against the seat, like he was like just asleep there. But she was just laying like that,
To over this way?
facing out the window.
Facing
She
out
was
the
facing towards the.
How did the car seat get to the front of the car?
What do you mean?
The car seat was in front of, and the front seat on top of her. How did it get there?
It shouldn't have been because
Was it back here?
it was when I got in the car. It was right there. That's what was blocking me from getting on that side. I thought it was a little sketchy myself because I was about to go open that door and he was already like, "Hey man, go the fuck around."
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I didn't want to escalate the situation because I didn't know what he was.
Let me get some things real quick. No, I'm gonna come back in here. Let me just grab some things. I want to see if you can explain some of these things. Okay? Just give me a second.
Okay.
Did you want water or anything like that?
I was gonna ask my dad's okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
His knees are kind of.
Yeah. And he said he's good. I've been checking with him. Other detectives have been checking with him to make sure he's good.
Fast forward to when the detective comes back.
Close to.
The having the details of what happened, explaining those truthfully, right? Always helps out. All right. So this is an opportunity for you to get your side of the story, right? So when we start kind of changing things and how they happen, right? And I can tell how things suddenly happen because of evidence. Okay. There's certain things that happen in a crime scene where we kind of piece together how certain things happen. Okay. So I want to kind of show you some photos. Okay. I'm going to walk through and I want to see, I want you to be truthful. Okay. I know you're saying you pushed the gun. I know you're saying these things. Evidence doesn't support some of what you're saying. Okay. I'm going to explain it. Okay.
Detective, up there in front of you, do you have a replica of a firearm?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that a replica of a 380?
Yes, ma'am.
For the next part of your examination, we're going to pause and play, and I'm just going to ask you to use that to explain to the jury what it is we're talking about in the interview, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
When we got outside of the car, right? There's an issue that I have with that. And that is blood on this fender. Okay? That shouldn't be there if you stayed inside the car the whole time. Okay? There's also blood in the rims, which shouldn't be there. All right? And then it's in the window. All right? That's how I know that you drove from the location from where the incident occurred. Right? So I want to ask you again, did you ever take him outside of that car and put him on the ground?
No, I pulled him through, but I had the passenger door open.
Did his head or anything come outside? Well, in the back side right here, but did his head ever come outside and rest on this wheel?
No, we don't know. It kept hitting the window.
Okay, well, how did all this get here? And you didn't move him. All right, if you didn't move him outside of the car. I know you're saying you moved him inside the car. If you didn't move him from outside of the car, how did it get there?
Honestly.
Did all of this come from whenever you and your dad were at the location? At Danny K? Did you guys take him out? Did you guys take him out?
No.
Okay.
So at Danny K?
At the apartments?
No, I told you no.
Okay. So my question to
He
you
didn't
is,
honestly know about the situation. He didn't even know why he was there because I was supposed to be home.
okay. So what I'm saying is this right here tells a completely different story than what you're telling me. Okay, there's no reason for this blood to be in the rim. There's no reason for it to be in the tire. There's no reason for it to be in the door. Unless he's taken out of that and either placed here or something else. And I'm giving you the opportunity to explain that.
Honestly, the only thing I can have to explain for that is if when I opened the door, because I had to get myself out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I put him in there, it's just bleeding everywhere.
Are you covered in blood?
I didn't actually have any blood on me.
Okay. So if you didn't have any blood on you, how would you put that blood there?
Maybe my shoe.
Pause it in 1921. That comment that he made, I didn't have any blood on me. Is that consistent with what you found in your investigation?
Oh, no, ma'am. The scene was fairly bloody as the photos show, and other surveillance shows otherwise.
When you say other surveillance, what are you talking about?
The one at the defendant's residence.
Okay, we'll look at that in a little bit.
No. She weren't going to do that. Did you kick the tire or did you,
No, I didn't kick the tire.
yeah. So, this needs to be explained.
I understand.
All right.
But I didn't never actually took him outside of the vehicle.
You never took him outside of the vehicle?
No, I did not. I pulled him to the back because I didn't know how else to do it, because our neighborhood is like, I don't know, I guess like there's a lot of nightly walkers.
Mhm.
So
I mean, I don't know how this got here, but
honestly, I don't know how
Right.
else to explain that, because I told you I pulled him through there.
And so there's, I mean, with his amount of blood that he's bleeding, right? There's nothing to show that he's being pulled. Did he ever hit the ceiling when they pulled him through? No?
No.
Okay. Do you just not remember pulling him outside and then putting him in? Because his pants are completely down.
What?
Yeah. And he has drag marks.
I never took him outside the car. That's the only thing that I'm not understanding here.
So whenever you pulled him, did you see his pants down?
Yeah,
Not that I know.
wiping the car
I
off.
wasn't paying attention to that. I was just focusing on the main situation of everything was happening.
Do you think you could have just done that and don't remember it?
Could have done what?
Put him outside of the vehicle?
I don't think so, no. I mean, it's possible when I was closing it, he kept leaning out.
He's leaning out?
I mean, I don't know, I kept trying to close it and he was like only leaning halfway. Kept leaning a little bit out.
Mm-hmm. So let's use this one. I'm gonna get it working, okay? This right here is him in the back seat, okay? This wound right here, that's called a contact wound. Right, so you pushed, it means that the gun was up against his head when he was shot. That's on the right side of his head. So his head would have to be facing this way, looking this way, when his gun hits.
He was looking at her the whole time.
So how is it, you said he was looking at you, he pointed it at you.
Well, he had it pointed at me. And then he was like, kind of going like that. He was like this, because he was just trying to see like trying to help her, I guess.
Okay, so you're saying you pushed his hand went weird and shot himself?
Went like that.
Okay.
Like with his left hand like that.
His left hand?
Yes, that's
So what, yeah, so you said like this?
Going like this.
Right, so if he's pointing his left hand at you, right, so I'm sitting in the driver's seat, right, so this is the driver's seat, I'm turning this way, right? I'm looking at the girl, right? You're in the back seat behind me, right, so I'm in the driver's seat, there's a female here, right, and you're back behind here. So he's pointing the weapon at you like this, right? So his hand, it's impossible to get that in.
Can you demonstrate with the firearm why you say that?
So what I was talking is he's sitting in the driver's seat. I'm facing this way with a space between us. Here, if he pushes the gun this way, if his fingers on the trigger. Sorry, Judge. It's fake now. Sorry.
It's fine. If you want to stand up, so.
This way, which way you want me to face? Sorry, this. I'll do this. I don't want to point everybody. All right, so this way, right? So if I'm driving here and he's looking this way, if he's pulling here, he'd have to break it, like basically bend it all the way here to get the angle that we're talking about up on here, right? So I'm bringing my arm back to try to get that angle. But like I said, we're going here and bringing it back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm bringing here, trying to bring it back. It's here. Whoop, I'm sorry.
Can you turn and maybe face the jury? So that they
Okay, so
can see
this
what you're
way,
talking about?
well, I just want to be facing, I don't want to be facing the judge so here, right? So I'm trying to get the angle on this way and I'm trying to get it here, right? So doing that is going to be hard to get a contact shot at the angle at the angle of a through and through with a defect by the visor.
Okay, and so when you say it's
Sorry,
through and through, where was the, and just for the record, it's a fake gun, where was his entrance wound?
So the entrance wound is on the right side of his head. Right.
And where was the exit wound?
Over here on the left side, I think it was slightly lower, and then the defect was up by the visor.
Okay. And obviously you're not the medical examiner, but were you present at the autopsy just to see those wounds?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And as far as the projectile being in the headliner. Did you observe any defects on the car that could have accounted for it coming out of the left side of his head and hitting something and then going up into the headliner?
No, ma'am.
Now, you said Matthew was tall, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he have long or short limbs?
Long.
And how much space again did you say was between the seats?
It's approximately 10 inches.
Okay. So based on the defendant's story that Matthew was pointing the gun at him like this, with regards to how Savannah got hit, he's saying the gun's in his face. What about the positioning of those seats played a role in your evaluation of whether that was reliable or not?
And let me try to turn this way because I don't want to point at Judge. Do you mind if I don't want to point it at anybody. So
However y'all need to do it.
all right, so if you're coming here, you have the side of the seat, and then you have the side of the driver's seat, and you have the center console here, right? So if he's pointing it back like this, he pushes it, the barrel of this gun is going to hit the shoulder rest, or I mean, if he is tall enough to clear, he's going to hit the head rest. But to get that again, the angle on Savannah, she's over in the back right. So like I said, he would have to hit that side, or if he brought it back and then extend it. But that's obviously, if he's just pushing the gun, it would just would have, like I said, went off.
Right. We're just talking about his version, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Push the gun. Is that what he said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Was there any damage to the passenger side seat or headrest that would be consistent with his version?
No, ma'am.
I understand. Your wrist on the left hand can't go that way. You have to bend your wrist all the way back here to get that angle. Well, what I'm saying is it doesn't get that angle. Right? No matter what you do, if I pointed it here, you're probably going to hit it. You sure as hell ain't hitting there at a straight angle. And the gun is not coming all the way this way, unless, like I said, unless you grab it and you put it to his head. I think it's grab it. Okay, so you would have to get pushed all the way, come back all the way over here in the full shirt to get a perfect straight angle. All right. It's in the middle of the night. Okay. So still some. It's her. Okay. The car seat's on top of her. And you said you didn't do that. I was in the back. So how did they get there? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Okay. I genuinely could not tell you. Because when I left, she was in the back. The car seat was on his right. He was kind of leaning against the door, or not the door, but like the back seat of this one. So she was just like that. She was just like this? She wasn't moved at all. So you have no idea how the car seat gets here? Honestly. So these shoes were his. And then I'm gonna explain something else to you. This is the back of her head. That's the one over here. On the right side of her head. On the right side? Right side of her head. It's over here. So you saying that things like this, his left hand, you push it, and his arm goes this way, it would have to go around. It would have to go around the headrest. There's no damage to the headrest, and hit her at a straight angle from behind, which is impossible. How so? I don't understand. How so? This is how it happened. Look. She's sitting here. She's agitated on the phone. Mm-hmm. He's there, agitated, yelling at me with a gun in my face. Mm-hmm. So as soon as he's doing that like this, I push it, and he has his finger on it already, so I just push it like that, and then it just, okay. You just hear the loud ringing. But where she's hit, she's on the phone. She's not on the phone, she's like this looking down. Okay, so she's looking down like this at the phone. Okay? But she's looking down. Your guys' disturbance coming right here. But your guys' disturbance is over here on the left. Yes.
Oh, for real. Like they're literally telling him that's not how it happened. And he's, oh, yes, it did. Like, I was just saying earlier before he got here, like, it's going to be really interesting how defense spins this to try and get him out of this, because it's like, have you never left your house? Have you never heard of like forensics? I mean, yikes, you know?
Right? So if you push the gun, there is no way for that bullet to have a straight angle this way if his hand is over here. It's impossible, because the gun would be pointing this way. Right? So I can see hitting her here. But hitting her here,
Because it looked like it hit her right here because she went like that.
well, it didn't. So it hit her right here. I went to the autopsy, I observed it. Okay? I know where her injury was at. All right, so these are inconsistencies to your story. They don't match up. The evidence, let's let you know, the evidence tells us a story. Okay? And what you're saying of pushing the weapon and things like that, it doesn't add up.
Although he had a gun in my face.
Well, even if you push it, the angles don't match.
He had a loaded gun in my face, and he pulled it. I don't know what else to say.
Did you have a gun?
No, sir.
Did you wait up? If this is self-defense and you had a gun,
I don't have
and he
a
pulls a gun on you and then,
The thing is, I don't have a gun.
okay,
I don't own a gun.
did you take his gun from him and shoot him?
No.
Okay, then how, like I said, these injuries,
I didn't even touch his gun. I just kept pushing his hand and pushing it away. Well, the only time I touched it, I guess, was when I went like that.
okay, where did his gun go?
I couldn't tell you. I think whenever it went like that, it kind of went like that and fell in her lap a little.
Fell in her lap, so you
It fell in her, like, the bottom.
in the bottom seat? You didn't take it?
Touched it because, well, I didn't take it because I never touched it.
Okay, so you never took the gun?
I never
Was the car locked?
What do you mean?
When you left, did you leave the car locked?
No. I left it unlocked because I didn't know how else to deal with it. I just
You just left
parked
it?
it, left it. I told my dad to meet me on this side and pick me up. And
Well, you and your dad meet first, and your dad comes up to the car and
yeah, he
talks
comes
to
up
you.
to the car and tries to talk to me, and I'm like, just go over there real quick. He's like, did you steal this? Did you steal this? And I'm like, no, just go over there, just go over there. And then that's when I flew into the space, and then
So you don't have a gun, you don't know where his gun went. Yeah, where did his wallet go?
what do you mean his wallet?
Yeah, he was leaving the wallet for him. Where's his wallet? How about his
He
phone?
took my money. I don't know.
Did you take your money back?
The thing is, no, because the whole situation was just fucking horrible to me. It was just,
So what were you and dad doing at that vehicle for about 5 minutes after you guys parked back there? Did you guys sit there for about 5 minutes?
what do you mean?
After you go behind the building and park the car, he follows you in his truck.
Okay.
You guys stayed back there for 5 minutes.
Okay.
What were you guys doing? What were you guys doing?
Well, I told you already.
Just talking? And you're wiping down the steering wheel?
No. No.
What do you do?
He kept trying to ask me, trying to question me, he kept trying to get close to the car, so I just closed the door. And I got a towel he had in the truck, and I just wiped the outside of it.
Was it 1930-125? Is that consistent with what he said earlier in the interview?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
He just stated that he wiped down the car, the steering wheel and left with Dad.
And now what's he saying?
Now he's saying that he told Dad not to go near the car, and then he proceeded to take a towel from his truck and wipe the outside of the truck. outside the victim's vehicle down.
Trying to talk to me, he's like, well, so what's in the car? What happened? Like, why do you have that car? He keeps trying to question me. I don't know what else to tell him. So I didn't tell him anything. I just kept quiet about it. He just took me home.
You guys never went in the car and messaged anything? So you're saying somebody else must have just put a baby seat on top of her?
I guess, I don't know, because I didn't like actually go through his vehicle.
Did you get your money back?
No,
No, you didn't get his wallet, none of that stuff?
No, I didn't.
So you just drove the vehicle and then just left it?
Yes, because I didn't know what else to do. It was, the thing that scared me the most is that he pulled the gun and he already had it on the trigger, and he is willing to kill me over $60. I gave him 100, but he was willing to kill me over $60. So I don't know what to do. That's why.
So my biggest thing,
Pause it again. And I can
Exactly. He's like
So,
all
detective, as a law enforcement officer for 20
just
some odd
tripping
years,
over lies.
do you have a lot of experience handling firearms?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, to become a peace officer, you get training on it.
Yes, ma'am.
When a person has, what did you call it?
It'd be index.
Okay. When a person is not in the index position and they actually have it on the trigger, in your experience, how much, I guess, how much force can a hand take before it pulls the trigger?
It depends on the pounds for the trigger. But I mean, if someone's pushing your hand, you're trying to shoot them, you expect some type of resistance, so it'll be fairly quick.
Okay. So about what he's saying about how the second time that Matthew supposedly points the gun at him and he pushes it the other way, what does he say as far as what?
Exactly. That's just it. It's like crazy because literally, as they're telling him, what you're saying doesn't match up. He just keeps going. Like the fact that he never thought that they'd be able to prove any of this is just. I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. I don't think he's that smart, you know, and. I think he's really spoiled and hasn't really been out much. So it sounded to me, if I remember correctly, back in the day, he was kind of, you know, mama's boy, and they took care of him, and yikes.
Whether he actually grabs and manipulates the hand versus just pushing it.
He said he just pushes it.
And so if that were the case, if he just pushed it and didn't put pressure to hold it against his head, where would you expect the bullet to go if it went off?
The back left passenger door.
story of you pushing the gun, injuries to them are not consistent at all. The injury to his head is the gun was pressed against his head. Doing it with his left hand, this way, to get that straight angle, you can't get. Her injury to the right side behind her ear, you can't get looking at your phone and the disturbance is on the left-hand side.
Well, she's not like just looking at her phone all the time. She's like actively listening to what we're talking about.
Well, even if she turns this way, you can't.
Sees them pull out the gun.
Well, that means she's turning towards you. That puts this side of her head even farther.
I know, but she looks like towards him and kind of like she pulls out the gun and he's facing it towards me. She kind of just looks away like she knew he was going to kill
Well,
her.
that angle still doesn't add up. It does.
I understand what you're telling me.
I mean, I'm saying the evidence does not add up to that, right? I'm giving you an opportunity to explain it, right, without just pushing the gun story. Like, it's pushing the gun, it's not going to get those angles.
I don't know what else to say because he pointed it at me. I pushed it. That was kind of the end of it.
Then you guys take. Take the car. You take the car. So you
Drop the car off.
Mm-hmm.
And
And so you didn't take his phone or anything?
you know, my dad's sitting there. As soon as I get in the back seat, he's sitting there questioning me, like, "What? So what were you doing? What were you doing? Why are you even over here? How do you have that? Why do you have that car?"
And so he never saw anything inside of it?
Not that I know of, you know, because
I think I kind of hard to believe. I kind of find it hard to believe that
he kept trying to peek.
you can't see all that blood. You can't see shoes and you can't see this female. Because you get out of the car, he's standing right here looking in.
Not like inside. He just kind of like.
Well, I mean, how can you not, I mean, you can stand, I could still way over here, I can still see that. I still in the passenger side, I can still see.
I don't know. I don't know. He never actually like. He wasn't involved, I guess.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So what was the conversation in the last few days when you started seeing everything on social media?
About what?
About this?
I don't know. He just kept trying to question me about everything. He was just hassling me about everything, and I didn't know how to go about it. So I just kept quiet. I didn't say anything.
Did you ever want to reach out to us? Tell us what
I
happened.
wanted to, but I knew if I told you, you would do the same thing. You're gonna put me in.
Well, no, but what I was saying, so if you're getting robbed, right, that's what you're saying, or he's pointing a gun at you.
But it's still an illegal transaction regardless.
So, I mean, but still, people get robbed all the time, and they call us, right? They say, hey, I got robbed.
But why are you gonna say, oh, I got robbed by the guy that?
Your body probably happens all the time. I mean, but the thing is now you have people deceased, you have pregnant female deceased, you have him deceased, right? Calling, at least trying to show, hey, I want to cooperate with y'all, right? Instead of us having to go to your house today, finding out a roundabout way of finding y'all.
It's just that I never told my dad.
Okay.
I didn't know how.
You know what else to say?
I don't know how that you're the first person I've actually
told.
stories.
I appreciate that. Well, just give me a little bit, let's see what else, I want to kind of show you some more things, see what you can explain. Just give me a little bit, I'm gonna check on your dad, make sure he's good, okay? Sure you don't want water or soda or anything like that. You good? If I was good, we can get you one, it's not a big deal. Okay.
Detective, while you're interviewing the defendant, what, if anything, is taking place at his home?
While I'm interviewing another detective, Detective Ferguson, typed up a search warrant for the location. As Detective Size had noticed some surveillance cameras and it was believed that evidence could be in that location. So the warrant was executed after signed by a magistrate, and the search of the house was being conducted while I was talking to him.
Fast forward just about 30 seconds, 1937. So.
Quick question, brother. That 380 at the house, whose gun is that?
What do you mean?
There's a little 380 at the house. Whose gun is that?
380.
A little semi-automatic handgun.
We don't have guns at our house. We just have baseball bats and kitchen.
Well, there's a gun in your house. So our detectives are searching right now. And they found 380.
I don't have any guns.
Okay. Thank you.
No guns at our house.
So good.
No gun except for the one that his mother hid for him. So he saved it for him. But yeah, it was his own hair and stuff, so he was stuffing his pocket. It was weird. He was doing this interrogation for the marriage.
Fast forward to 1945. What did he do right there, Detective?
Again, he just grabbed some hair, put it in his pocket.
That surprised me that he asked for a drink, actually. Because I don't know if you were here. I don't think you were here. We were going over a case out of Michigan the other night, and that's exactly how they busted this guy on like a 25-year-old homicide. Was they grabbed a cup, they drank out of it, a roller skating rink or something like that. He threw it in the garbage, and detectives were there watching, and they grabbed it. But like, yeah, he's like, I don't think he's playing dumb. I think he's really dumb because the stuff, like, just. My 5-year-old could get himself out of trouble better than this, okay? I mean, this is like ridiculous.
sitting right there, 21, 40.
Grin put a piece in his pocket.
I think they asked him, and he said something about his dad. His dad's got bad knees and stuff like that. I couldn't, but yeah, he's muffled, and I couldn't hear if he actually said okay to it or not. But he seems to at least kind of have some awareness of, you know, making sure he's not leaving hair in the room. He's not touching the chairs or anything like that. Or he used his sleeve to move the chair, like all those weird things.
And after this last conversation that you had with him, did you ask him any more substantive?
We're gonna go across the hall and go use the restroom, okay?
Statements will get underway tomorrow in the trial of a man accused of killing a pregnant woman, her boyfriend, and their unborn son just hours before the baby was supposed to be delivered. Tonight, News 4 San Antonio's Karina Hollingsworth has the exclusive interview with Savannah Soto's grandmother as the family braces for the first day of testimony. It's a story you'll see only on 4.
Jonathan, Savannah Soto's grandmother told me she left the courthouse shaking today after coming face to face with the parents of the man accused of killing her pregnant granddaughter.
You know, it was just like, God, I couldn't believe it. I saw her there face to face. I saw him, his father, face to face. I could not believe that. I could not believe it. They were just sitting there like if they hadn't done nothing. Like all the people that were there, they were going to court. That's how they looked.
Savannah Soto and her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra, were reported missing on December 22nd, 2023, when she failed to show up at her appointment to have their son induced. The couple's bodies found days later, shot to death in the parking lot of an apartment complex in Leon Valley.
You know, it was horrific. It was, I mean, I've heard of death and murders and stuff, but not just because she was my granddaughter, but that was an ugly way of her to have died.
Christopher Preciado was arrested days later on January 3rd, 2024, and charged with capital murder in the family's deaths. His father, Ramon Preciado, was also arrested and accused of trying to help his son cover up the crime. He's awaiting trial. Christopher's mother, Murder Romanos, was also arrested on charges of tampering with evidence. Her charges were later dropped. Soto says the couple showed no remorse while sitting in court.
She stared at me, and I'm going to admit, I stared at her too. And I was just waiting for her to say something. But I closed my eyes and I looked up and I prayed to God to give me the strength. Just got my family and we just walked out of there. We didn't wait for the jurors or nothing because my son was already losing it.
Savannah's grandmother is unsure how she and her family will make it through the trial when they have to be in the same room with the man accused of killing Savannah and her unborn son. She says the family dreads some of the things they will learn during the trial.
We don't know where they got shot. We don't know where he killed them. We just know where he had the car, where he left the car. We don't know who put Matthew's body in the back. We don't know none of those questions.
Opening statements begin tomorrow, and we will have a crew there bringing information as it all unfolds. Reporting for News 4 San Antonio, I'm Karina Hollingsworth.
Today, the capital murder trial of Christopher Preciado has been
Already watched that part, so. Oh, yeah. I mean, just. You know, I love my kids, but there's no way if they did something like this that I would help cover it up. I'm sorry. I'd make them turn themselves in. Do the right thing. Like, I just can't imagine. And I just wonder if this is like a dumb act or if they really are dumb, because there was stuff that I remember the father saying stuff, making statements. He just seemed so like, oh, I just don't know what's going on. And let me find something. Let's see. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. We had last night. I don't know if it was one like meteor or if it was that broke into two or if it was two, but apparently there were two that hit central Michigan, one or two last night, fireballs. Let's see. I am trying to find. Everything is about JLR right now. And I'm trying to find something about I saw someone talking about that there was people digging at Nancy Guthrie's, but I have not seen anything. This is 7 hours now. I don't remember. You guys are probably, I don't know when this interview is from. I remember Brian Enton interviewing him, so if you've already seen this, I'm sorry, I haven't. So yeah, so that's the neighbor then. I remember hearing that there was a neighbor whose dogs were barking. Oh, I thought this was sad too. This Floyd County Courthouse in Rome, Georgia is gone. It's been a bad week so far. It's only Tuesday. Yeah, everything is. And I mean, like I said, we're still gonna follow the court stuff and stuff. I'm not getting into the drama stuff or the stories. Like, Molly and I talked about it a lot, and I said, and that was something. She knows him. She knows him like in person, and I don't. And so I figure we get a lot more information, correct information from her, because she was literally there at some of these more recent stuff. Not any of the crazy stuff that we've seen online, but let's see. That's okay? So I'm looking at this picture from Illinois, this crescent-shaped pattern. Is that blood though, or is that? Because that almost looks like a watermark or something on there. So there's an imprint in blood on the porch that looks like part of the tire. of some sort had been bugging me from the beginning of what kind of imprint it could be. Then someone mentioned a cart. Looks narrow. But again, that could be a mail cart. Or no, her mail's out in the road. I don't know. That's weird. Apparently, we're getting plagued big time. So, okay. 2 police departments are playing us. Let's see. Let's check Nerdy Addict because he's. Let's see. News page. Oh, and that is something in case you don't know. There are about all the guys down that were in Arizona. There's fake accounts of all of them going around. This is from March 17th. Same here, Sleuth. Yeah. Oh.
The FBI is now.
Sorry about that.
Who are these 3 men, and why did they move out immediately, right at the same time that Nancy Guthrie went missing? So we've heard speculation about this, where they were living. It is still vacant, but a neighbor told me that boom, it's like in the middle of the night, right after this happened, they vacated town. The FBI is looking into it. That is the latest. Again, it is day 45. Search goes on for Nancy Guthrie, and the FBI is still very heavily investigating this area.
Okay, so that's. Let's see. Let me find. I thought I saw in a couple chats today. Maybe not. I saw in a couple chats today that there was someone out yesterday around the Nancy Guthrie house area, and that they were looking for a YouTuber that had already gone home. Now, whether or not that's rumor or not, that might just be people trolling with the whole JLR thing. And this was something, I looked this up. The Pima County detectives have determined those signs that were posted near Nancy Guthrie's house are not related to the Guthrie investigation. And that is, was about another, it was another missing woman from, I think, was it 2022? And they have natural causes listed as her cause of death, but the family doesn't want to, the family doesn't believe that that's true. And I was watching someone talk about it the other night, and they said that she was found, and that the state that she was in, they may have not been able to determine what actually happened to her. and so they just deemed it as natural causes. I haven't looked into that, but it was another missing. She was like 66, though, I believe. And see, that's what I heard. Yeah, is that they're looking for someone who's already gone home, and that they talked to both John. Oh, sorry, my nail drill just like tried to take me out. Yet they won't say anything. I mean, and I understand them not saying who. And it might not be who we think. It might be. I know Dad's Gone Live was driving out the other night, and that weird guy that was, well, and I don't know if he was weird or if we just thought he was, he was walking, and then Dad's Gone Live had gone around that cul-de-sac and came back, and that guy was standing like behind a bush in that driveway. But part of me wonders, was that where he lived? Was that one of the neighbors that was like tired of everybody being out there, and so he was gonna, videotape him to make a complaint? So is that who they're looking for? And it's actually something that's really innocent, but I do wonder. And as you saw in his ex post, he says we're all getting played. Okay. I mean, we'll find out, right? We're going to find out if we're getting played or not. Because eventually there's going to be more and more news and more things that come out. It's all public information, and we might not be able to know right away, but there's enough people that are digging on this and watching the docket, watching all this stuff. And yeah, I only think we're getting played by him, but who knows? I'm sure he means Magnolia. I would assume. But who knows? One thing that I have learned in this last week and this week is that my brain just doesn't think like that, and there's no way that it ever could. And so I'm not even going to try to understand his logic about whatever his behavior is. I mean, granted, he's not doing all the weird, creepy stuff that we saw in some of those videos anymore. I mean, at least not on camera. But I don't know. It's like, But yeah, he's got people that are really digging, and they're releasing everything. So, I mean, I kind of look at it this way. Bullhorn Betty kept telling us that nothing was going to happen to her, that it was all lies. And she ended up getting a bench warrant on her, arrested, and 4 restraining orders that just got renewed not too long ago. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, maybe it's not about this, because his attorney, this is what I've kind of noticed. I think there's games that get played, word games with him, and things like running the Jeep Compass, the same car, and having it all over YouTube when he went out to, here's our finished product. I'm going to paint my toes red tonight, so I figured I'd add a little red in there. It'll probably drive me nuts, and I'll have to zip it all off and go back to pink, but this is this is where we're at. I believe they were renewed. Yeah, I believe they were. Take my pitties off of there. I'll have to do the other hand later. This is how my life is. I do one hand now and then one hand later. But I mean, that's one of those statements. Is he talking about the egg or the Nancy Guthrie case? Is he talking about Magnolia? Is he talking about the Dolly situation? And we just don't know. That's what I wonder. Well, and that's true. That is true. I mean, I was joking around with somebody earlier today. I was like, I said, everybody's wishing for him to go to prison. I'm like, but that's what happened last time. And if he's got all that extra time on his hands and he's mad, I mean, what was it? 4,000 lawsuits? What's a couple YouTubers? It's like, a couple hundred YouTubers. With anyone else, I'd say good luck trying, but I mean, this is what he does. This is his, what do you want to say, his forte. He's good at that. He understands it. He spent 10 years in, I watched a video earlier today, from ages 21 to 25, he said, in federal custody, meaning he was in federal penitentiary. Federal penitentiary for 10 years, and then on federal probation for 5. So, well, that's what I thought. I thought Marissa had said that there's some, like, that he has to have a lawyer. He can't do, like, pro se anymore, or, and since then there have also been a lot of changes in laws against frivolous lawsuits. And, exactly. And that's exactly what that post is about. What is he talking about? Then everybody's going to start talking about it. What's he talking about? What's he saying? I mean, I think he likes to play mind games. And that's what a lot of this has been. But who knows? Like I said, I don't know him, so I can't say anything for sure. It's going to be the people like Molly and White Boy and the people that actually, I'm saying the people that actually met him face to face, and who else? Justin, who else was out there, like Quentin Simons and Summer Wells, Dolly. I mean, unfortunately, Dolly Dolly knows him. I don't know. So we're going to find out no matter what. And no matter what anybody thinks the truth is, it will come out. And I think Marissa said it earlier, it's really hard to get a 3-year restraining order. Even if it's civil, it doesn't matter. 3 years. Because I believe that's what Betty's are, but it's 3 years. Well, and that's it. I went down a rabbit hole with some stuff, and I should not have, because I was literally sickened by some of the stuff I saw. And I don't know. I'm really disappointed still, I mean, I know that you don't know who you're talking to on here. You never do. You don't know who anybody is, even when they're sitting there on their camera in front of your face. You don't know who they are. You don't know. And I never in a million years would have thought to dig on them. I heard people talking that it was white collar crimes, the AOL scam. And he had said he was turned over new leaf, so I believed him. And my bad, So I don't know. This is another case that's going to be interesting. Interesting to see what happens with that. I mean, I don't know. Is he slick enough to get over this? Or this is the sad thing, is that they both claim to be advocates, and
whatever happened. It has nothing to do with me. The dumb lady did this shit to herself. What do you want me to say? Okay, I will not support her. So if you guys want to come in here and talk, you guys can, but I will not support that lady. Whatever.
I don't know. That bothers me too, but that's her decision, and well, and that's it. And I was reading, and I read it, and then that I think her name was, I can't remember her name, Kendra maybe. She had looked up the other night that that Washington State does most definitely take like past records and things like that into account when they are when they're looking at something like this. And that once you put that the other thing that's going to make this a little bit worse is it's not just regular it's not just regular assault, it's with the DV. You put that little what do they call it? It's not extenuating circumstances. There's a term, a predicator or something like that. I can't remember what the term is called. I'll have to look that up too. But when they do something like that, then it brings it to another level. So I don't know. Something I was wondering too is in that interview that I watched of him this morning, I thought that he said that he had 2 felony counts. And that's why he went to prison for like 10 years. That he was the one that got the most out of all of it. But something else I want to look up, just because I'm curious, is there used to be, and I don't know if it goes per state or if it's a federal thing, that 3 strikes you're outlaw. Where when you had like your 3rd felony, that was it. There was certain mandatory sentences that you had to take with certain crimes once you hit that level. And like I said, I don't know if that's a state thing or if it has to be, is it like the lemon law? Is it all the same thing? I don't know. But so that's something I'm going to be looking into. And the whole Christopher Preciado thing, I'm going to be following that and making sure that we get the updates on that. Because like I said, after watching that interrogation today, it's going to be really interesting to see how his lawyer spins this, because every single thing in that case forensically pointed to the fact that he was absolutely lying about everything that happened. Like there wasn't one thing, no angles were right, none of the evidence was right. And I remember that, them finding blood on the tire and him saying, no, I didn't bring him out. This guy is like 6'1". I will find the footage, so I know somebody's got it, from the parking lot security cameras, because that shows that. And remember, we're trying to figure out the brake lights and all that stuff, and oh my gosh. So yeah, so it's nice to see. This is what I like about true crime, is that we followed that case when it started, and now I mean, it's the hard part, and I don't like that it took 2 years, but I'm glad that finally there is some headway in this, that the person that took the life of Matthew and Savannah and the baby has a chance of getting at least some justice, and that this kid won't go unpunished. But here we are, though. He was arrested 2 years ago, and they're just now getting to the point where, I believe it started last Tuesday, was when they started the jury what do you call it? When they started picking a jury. So this is big stuff. But someone earlier said, it might be, I think, was it Sleuth? Was it you that said, this will probably go pretty quick? And I'm wondering, I mean, there was really no, when you listen to that interrogation, how are you going to get yourself out of that? Literally, there wasn't, and it was absolutely physically impossible for this to happen. And I swore there was at some point, because when the news reporter had said that they had money he wanted and he wanted to take it, I swear that there was some point at one of the interrogations when he actually said that and that it came out. So I want to find that too, because if he said that, there's no way that they can say defense. And the fact that the only firearm that was there was his. Matthew didn't have one. So and it was an accident that he shot Savannah in the right side of the head. I don't know. No, sorry. It's not going to happen. So listen, guys, I am going to head out. It's like 20 to 6 here about. So I'm going to make dinner for my kiddos. But I'm pretty sure, depending on what's going on at her house, Molly Golightly is going to be coming live sometime this evening to discuss some stuff that she was sent, that she found out. So, and I will be over there. So if you guys are free, what I will do is when she goes live, I will put it up on my community page so you can see it. If you're not subscribed, or you can head over there. I'll put the link up so that you guys can go over there and hang out with us and talk some JLR. Because like I said, she actually spent time with them, a lot of time with them. So she knows him better than most of us. So, aside from Benny. But that's a story for another day. So thank you very much for tuning in to my Clawz and Crime Time on True Crime Tuesday. And I want to thank everybody. I've got a bajillion new subs, and I am so thankful for that. And a bunch of new members. And I am going to be figuring out some members only content. And I've got to figure it out, which I will this week, because with my memberships, you get a 10% discount on any orders off of my website. This week is going to be adding a bunch of stuff to the website too, and I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'll take like an hour out of the day to show that website Wednesday, just to show some of the new stuff that I'm putting up, and and it's not just nails; it's actual products. Like I have some of those. They go on a keychain, and they're those little pointers that help open up car seats when you got nails, so you don't break your nail. Silicone booties, just when you put your foot treatment on, put those on for a little while, and your feet come out. I swear to you, they feel like it's just like baby skin. It's so awesome. So fun stuff like that. And I'm going to be working on some new scents for my products. So one of the things I want to do, because you guys were so awesome and helped me hit my 1,000 subs goal, I do want to give some kind of presents to a couple people, just as a thank you. And that will be for both, that will be for everybody, not just members. So somehow I'll figure it out, whether or not I have to scroll the chat real fast and have I'll have my little guy poke his finger on names for me or something, so it'll be fair. But yeah, I thought I'll do something like that. So, and maybe you guys can help me figure out some new scents for the summer. So, excuse me. You too, Sleuth. You too. Yeah, definitely come check us out over there for their. I don't see any reason why she wouldn't be. So yeah, I'll post the link up, and same here. If you haven't yet, please hit the thumbs up for me. And I'm still trying to go on an upward trajectory. My biggest goal that I want to hit, excuse me, eventually, and it'll be like I'll probably be 100 years old when this happens. But my biggest goal that I want to hit is 10,000, because I was reading that at 10,000 you can do fundraisers that are right through YouTube, so I wouldn't have to touch the money or anything like that. But you know, there's some causes that are close to my heart. I thought, wouldn't that be cool if we could do that eventually? So that's my next goal. But right now, I'm just trying to slowly build. You guys are awesome. It was a great live. You guys have awesome conversations, awesome questions. And yeah, so again, please hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe if you would be so kind. And hit the notification bell so you know when I go live or I post something. And oh, thank you so much, Canvas and Crimes. Everybody, please, if you, let's see, who's getting a membership? Dark Side Brooks, Cheryl, Rachel, Ellie, Nina, you got one. Yay. Oh, thank you so much. So everybody, if you got one of the memberships, please give Canvas and Crimes a big thank you. She's such a sweetheart, and she's just been helping out my channel like nobody's business since she came here, and I just love her to death. And we are going to try and get a channel to get her painting out there when she's ready though. So star that comment. So thank you. That was so awesome of you. And oh, one more thing before I go. If I could also ask you, if you'd be so inclined, there is an option. I think it only shows up once I go off of live, but under the comments you can slide them over and there's a hype button, and it would be ever so awesome if you would click that hype button. I've been trying to do it to whoever I see too that's out here. So yeah, so thanks guys. I really love you. You really helped me get my nails done so I didn't go crazy. And thank you for listening to me about that Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra. That was a case that really broke my heart. So again, I'm glad they're hopefully going to get some justice and he doesn't weasel out of this. So that's what happened to me. I guess you're only supposed to be you could only do like 3 or something like that. Sunday night I went to go click on Molly's, and it says you're out of hype. I was like, oh. So then I made sure I waited, and I woke up Monday morning. I'm like, all right, hype. I made sure, because she hyped my video. I wanted to make sure I paid her back. So she was my very, very first one that morning to do. So, but thanks for thinking of it, for trying. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go figure out dinner for these hungry boys, and I will hopefully see you later at Molly's. So, all right. Peace, love, and claws, y'all. Talk to you later. Thanks again, guys. You're awesome. Bye-bye.